Call the meeting back to order, and there was no decisions made in executive session.
Also, I forgot on my, hospital board position is up this year. I need permission to advertise. One that's on there wants to
Vacate?
stay on there, but we still need to.
Oh,
Now?
yes, come on
Now's
in.
the time?
You're up.
Boy,
Whoa!
We're in the hot seat.
yeah,
Just look
boy.
at all these pretty faces, what do you mean?
There's gotta be a mirror.
We didn't know we
You
were
gotta be
having a
looking in the
beauty
mirror.
contest. We just thought it was a meeting.
Okay, are we ready to start?
Yes.
We are the Cheyenne County History Museum Board, and we thank you for your time today. We are all volunteers. Our museum has no paid employees, so we're all just happy campers.
Thank you.
And we're real proud of our museum, but our old church is in desperate trouble. If you've driven on the highway, you saw she really got damaged. I call her she as if she's a person. But anyway, she was built in 1914, and this is the third place she's lived. She was built as the first German Evangelical Lutheran Emmanuel Church. And the first church was built in '89, torn down, and then this church was built. Then it was moved to South Fork, and then in 84, 6 or something like that, she was moved onto the museum, was given as a donation. And she is 109 years old. And you know, if you're 109, you can't have stress like she has right now. We're all can attribute to that. But thank you for your time, and I'll turn it over to Lee.
Yeah, I think the reason we're here is because the infamous July 12th hailstorm, 3 male made Swiss cheese out of that church, as well as breaking like 3 windows out of the museum. And your adjuster, one or two of us were there, and they went up on the roof and checked out the windows and looked at the church, and, well, they gave us $13,000. And if you look on page 4 of what Carol just gave you, I guess the dumpster load itself is not going to be enough even for that. And the reason is we have one bid in from Finley Energy to the tune of 70 grand. And what they're going to do is, or need to do, is to take off 2 layers, and then we're going to put on cement board, which is better. Won't be, because this is the second time this little baby's been hailed. But anyway, we just would either like to have another adjuster or someone else come and look, because, and maybe they consider the windows as cosmetic, but they gave us nothing for the windows, which have
On the
been
museum.
for the, yeah, on the museum. We did get them repaired, probably, you know, necessary before the winter storms, and it was over $500 for the windows. But the adjuster gave us nothing. They
And we
did
did
go,
not get new windows, we only replaced the glass. We
yes,
didn't take
just,
the
yeah,
windows.
just the glass. We know that they went up on the roof, but there's no report here if there was damage on the roof. We assume there could be, but we don't know. So I guess our concern is if we might be able to get another or a different adjuster out here to, to see what they think. We know that we're not going to get enough to cover the whole repair of the church. We'd like to be able to be reimbursed for the window, the glass in the windows, unless they consider that cosmetic. They say some insurance companies will not reimburse for cosmetic, but we don't know what cosmetic is. So that's just, hearsay talk. But anyway, that's our main objective today, is we're just not satisfied with what they adjusted We also have on page 5, I think, the last page is the estimate. We also have added the Ron Evans sign, which we have probably failed to add to the insurance policy.
Yes, we have failed to do that.
And let's see, it is on page 2, yes, page 2, about 2/3 of the way down. We paid $6,000 for that sign. We paid a few extra dollars for the lighting and things, but again, it's been chipped by the hail, and we've notified the people that built it for us, but again, the adjuster gave us nothing. So, we're crying and begging for some, for a second opinion. And,
We realize that possibly when the churches, that it comes time to fix it, we could, have volunteers help, maybe take the old cement or the old siding off, and maybe we could, Finley's charged us for a lift to do the steeple. Maybe we could get one donated, so we're willing to beat the bushes and get that done. But, from 13 to 70,000, we have no money, much, to contribute. And I know there are grants out there,
Right.
and we're willing to do that, but that's just a lot. And I don't know if we can wait years to repair her.
No. We need to get, is it K Camp?
The windows will be turned in. I was waiting on the siding to send in.
The bid we got. We're getting one more bid from Travis Milne, so that isn't in
But
yet.
yeah, they know about the windows, but I was waiting to send it all in at once.
well, the windows, we have the bill.
Right.
Yes, and what they estimated is what they charged us. And,
And I talked to the adjuster, and I asked him if there's any more that could be done, and because what's on there is vinyl siding, correct?
right, and we're gonna put heavier duty on
And I
it.
asked, could you pay more because they're upgrading it to something besides vinyl siding? And he said, no, we can't do that. We can only replace with the vinyl siding, what is on there.
That's
So-
not even enough to replace the vinyl siding.
Right.
We could replace it, but it just seems foolish because then the
It's
next
just gonna
storm,
get
here we
broken.
go again,
Destroyed again.
Yeah, it sits high up on that hill and it really gets,
They were to come and repair it, Finley was, because we have some extra pieces, and they were
Right.
gonna, but they don't make that kind of siding anymore, so, yeah.
We had that trouble with the assisted living, they didn't get everything, right? The adjusters,
Yeah, we did.
you know. Anyway, maybe we can get them back out here and some people can go with him
Have 'em look at
or
the
her.
roof
And, yeah, have them address everything.
Yeah.
So they don't miss it. And I think sometimes these guys are overwhelmed and, because
Oh, I'm sure.
And so I'm looking at this going, there, yeah, your roof's not in there and stuff like that. So I think we need to probably have another adjuster come out.
And we know they went on the roof,
'Cause
and
we heard it.
if they said there was no damage, then tell
Right.
us there's no
It
damage.
says it on the first page, metal roof, no noticeable hail damage.
But that's on the
That's on the
church.
church, that's on the church.
'Cause we
Oh,
don't have
We're
them
talking
done.
You're talking
on the
about the
museum.
Museum.
the museum has that
Gotcha.
foam insulation and it was
Okay.
installed by.
I know, I got that, I'll have to look for it, but there wasn't any damage on that either.
There wasn't any.
And maybe, but I didn't get it included with this.
Yeah.
Well, there's
Just
just
kind of
a,
like a second opinion, because last time it was damaged and it wasn't the status quo as this one, it didn't seem like.
Probably be a good
Just
idea to
wanna
get
make
them back
sure
out here if we could.
yeah,
So we can get it.
Will there be
fixed.
some historical grants where we're gonna be updating and putting better siding on that we're not going to, that weather's not gonna destroy? Is there historical grants that we can, as a county, apply for that would help in this that you know
very
of?
possibly.
Possibly, I've looked into some, our only problem is it's not a registered historical building, which is good and bad. So it makes it hard to find grants, but
But-
it also makes it to where it's not so expensive to repair.
Yes, we run into that with our
So,
courtroom.
but we're trying to see what grants are out there. Typically, grants aren't to repair, it's for
Because,
something new.
yeah, I completely agree with you guys. If you're gonna fix it right. to do it. And it'd also help our premiums, well, it should help our premiums, because when you put
Well,
an
yeah,
impact
you know.
resistant, hey, it was, yeah, you know where I'm going
Turning
with that.
something
And
in
we're,
every
we're
year.
certainly not opposed, and we've already talked about it, for local grants from the foundation. And we're
Right.
not opposed to money raisers. And generally, when we do that, there's some very generous people
Right.
that have paid for our HVAC and our front door and a few other things. So, we're not opposed to that, I guess.
Well, I got a truck you can use and a loader you can use, it'll help you.
Okay. But even the dumpster deal, we're thinking, there's enough
Yeah.
stuff on there. I
Yeah.
think a couple dumpsters,
Yeah,
so.
one.
Anyway.
Can we do these, since it's
On another note,
We
we
can waive
invite
the-
you to come see our museum. We're pretty proud of it.
And it looks
We
nice.
had some young elementary kids up there not too long ago in different stages and did a little program for them. And I think 2/3 of the kids said they'd never been in there. And there's been a lot of local people that have said, I've never been in here, and they didn't realize that it goes on and on and on. So,
Our goal this year is to make sure every child is in the museum, and we're gonna make that goal.
Yeah.
So,
Been taking buses up there and bringing
Yeah.
students up.
yeah.
and of course, there's ulterior motives to get the parents up there. And maybe they'll put $10 in the bucket.
Yeah.
Did I miss anything, Bruce?
No. Do you have any questions for us?
Thank you for what you do.
Where are you planning on getting the extra money other than grants? And
That's it. And it takes a lot of bake sales
It does.
to come up with, we just aren't, we don't make money at the museum. We provide a service that just isn't like,
Right.
So it would be donations, private donations, and grants.
And we have
Can
gotten
we do
some
anything?
nice memorials in the past that have.
And we have a small amount in our own treasury that we could add to it, but,
And we're just about to put,
so we're looking at a little bit of time before we're gonna be able to do this project.
yeah.
but we don't think the church can wait a year,
No.
so.
Maybe spring, is that what you're
Oh, it'd have
thinking?
to be spring, yeah.
Yeah.
Of course, Finley's probably busy too. They got
Yeah.
a
he
lot
told
on their
us
plate.
It would be, he has a list, and we're on the list.
And we may come back and visit you in July and see if we can get some more money on your line item.
I wondered when that was
Smart,
coming up.
smart.
You shouldn't have mentioned it.
Well, I have from July to ponder.
One of the fortunate things is the glass in the church was covered with plexiglass. And that helped immensely. If those windows had been broken, that would have been tough to get repaired.
And that did happen once upon a time, so we put plexiglass over those windows, because they're just not a square pane.
Are those stained glass or what?
No, they're just,
They're curved though.
The shape of them would be
Yeah.
hard to,
Replicate.
and we did do that once upon a time, because they didn't have the plexiglass. So we tried to,
we as a local foundation, the Cheyenne County, Kansas Community Foundation, would try and help as much as we can, but we don't have that funding. But if a grant's written and we support it and send it on to Hanson, possibly
Yeah.
they would help some, but not to that extent.
56,000 extent,
Yeah.
yeah.
and that 70 could be cut
With
with
it,
With
volunteer help, and we
yeah.
won't have to rent a bucket, or a bucket truck
Yeah.
Right.
to get up to the steeple. So,
And you'd waive the charges for the dumpster?
Yeah. We're C&D, is what you mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's correct?
Yeah, if it's a county building,
Yeah.
we're not gonna charge ourselves.
Exactly.
Yeah,
that'd
makes
be
sense.
nice, yeah.
Well, thank you for your
Yes,
time,
thank
and,
you.
Thank you for what you
Come up
guys
and see
do.
us.
Come visit us.
yeah,
I will.
thank you.
Will.
Thank you,
I will
guys.
bring that up sometime for you.
Yes, I'm anxious to see that,
All
Brett,
right.
thank you.
You bet. See you. Thank you for what you do.
Thank you.
Thank you.
See you guys.
Well, thank you for what you do. It's a headache.
Sometimes.
Thankless job.
Yeah.
Oh.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Okay, so we get them in here fast, and we can have Don come in after. Are you guys okay with watching the spook parade, or?
I'm
We don't
fine.
have to.
Morning.
Morning, hi Jimmy.
I'm
Yeah,
fine,
that's
right?
fine.
Good morning.
Morning. Good to see you. Julie.
Good to see you.
Yes.
Good to see you.
You too.
How's it going, Hadley, Blue Cross Blue Shield?
Good morning.
All right.
How you guys doing?
How are you?
Good.
Morning.
Hadley,
Hadley.
Blue Cross Blue
Brett.
Shield. Scott, how are you? Anybody in the chair this morning? Or
What's that?
you said you get somebody in the chair?
The county attorney was there.
Okay, perfect.
All right. So I was telling, I was figured.
Excuse me a minute, you want to tell Don? We'll do it afterwards.
We're gonna try to watch the spook parade real quick when the kids go by at 10.
I wanted to hear this.
Okay, good. Maybe we'll be quick. Come on, sorry. Sorry about that.
How are you this morning? Good. All right. We got books here. Do you have any questions before we get started on?
I don't.
Okay. Well, I used to put the numbers at the back, go through the reports, but everybody that had been this through a while, they'd already automatically open up to the back. So it's like, we'll just put it at the front and get it over with, so. With the two-card system, and you guys have had the two-card system since 2015, which has worked very well for you because of the reserves that you have in the bank. So bear with me here and I will get that amount. But since 2015, and on the savings report, you have around 180,441.28. So with the two cards, down at the very bottom, you currently have $1,000 deductible, and then it's an 80/20 plan to $1,500, so the employees have a total out-of-pocket of $2,500, $5,000 per family, which is an excellent benefit. And even like the state plan, they have $5,300 out of pocket for a single times 2 per family. We still have a $25 primary care office visit copay, $50 for specialist, and we've been able to keep the copays at $10 for generic, $35 for formulary tier 2, and $60 for non-formulary tier 3. What we had projected January of 2023, and the next middle column is through September of 2023, you're running at 0.27% under what we projected. Did you want a book?
If you have an extra one, that
I
would be
do.
fantastic.
Sorry.
Nope, you're good.
So you're running at 0.27 under what we projected, so running very well. Up here at the top is the high deductible with Blue Cross and Blue Shield that we use as primary, and it's in red because everything is age rated because you're under 50. So what we did is we took the age and we done a composite rate. So on that $7,000 deductible plan where the rates were January 2023, with the renewal, it comes in at a 12.26% increase. Now we don't, no increase is good. I think last year we had like a 1.5% increase and a 12%, but we're going to show you how this plan was designed, that we're going to use those reserves to take care of this 12.26% increase. We did take it out to United Healthcare, and it's actually 44.19% above current. So United Healthcare is not an option. Yes. So, and the umbrella policy is changing a little bit. Right now, on the employer side, it has a $7,000 deductible. It's going up to a $7,100. If you go to the second page, this is the aggregate report that we show. If you would have went out and bought the cookie cutter plan, comparable to what you had, the county would have paid $748,021.67. With having the two-card system, less the high deductible, our fees, and what we paid in medical and prescription claims, your net savings January through October is $100,083. Over at the very right-hand side, we're showing at the end of September what you had in reserves of $183,888.22. So by having the two cards, you've been able to build those reserves. Now, there are some plans out there that look and smell like the Freedom Claims, the Freedom Choice Plan, but on those plans, the third-party administrator, which is what we are, keeps the reserve. So it's not the employer's money. So we always take a look at, other plans being offered. You have your fully insured, you have the two-card system, and you're retaining your savings. And that's to date, that 183,000. Or there's plans out there that look and smell like this, but the TPA keeps the reserves. So just, in looking at the different plans, and over here, we did quote the fully insured plans. So we've got those bases covered and don't feel like that you're at a point now to do a partially self-funded plan. That's what we had in 2015 when we took you to the 2-card system. So building up the reserves, we'll go through the detailed reports, but I wanted to give you some options on what we could do with the reserves before we get into the detailed reporting. If my fingers would work. Okay, yep, that works.
Thank you.
So in utilizing those reserves, and that was the whole idea of doing the 2-card system, is that the savings come back to you. You bought, instead of buying that cookie cutter plan and it being all throwaway money, that we took that and we brought it into 2 parts to where you had paid for the high deductible and you fund those claims up to that it was a $7,000 deductible to build those reserves. So if we kept the same premium as 2023 and the reserves absorb that 12%, maximum liability, worst case scenario, if everybody on that plan at that $71,000 deductible or $7,100 deductible times 2, the county's liability is $308,200. What you're estimated to put into reserves, the percent of savings, what your bank balance was as of 10/19, you're 85.63% funded, which is, you're not quite 100% funded if everybody on the plan met it. But that 85% funded, almost 86, is an excellent funding point. And that's if you kept the rates the same that you're charging for 2023. And we've been able to keep those same rates for 2022, 2023, and we could keep them for 2024, and you would still be well-funded. The next one is if we did an overall 5% increase, that 12% increase that you saw with Blue Cross and Blue Shield is trend. It's not just your group, it's all over, and Hadley can verify that with. On the Blue Cross, medical trend is anywhere from 12 to 18%, so that 12% is right in there. But doing a 5% increase, you would be 97.89% funded. So you could take that 12% increase with Blue Cross and just make an overall 5% and be almost 100% funded.
That's quite a jump there then.
Yes.
I have a question.
Uh-huh.
So when we get to 100% funded, would we stop putting into reserve?
You could maintain that. I look at around 120 to 125% in reserves.
Okay.
Because then that would cover, if everybody met that high deductible times 2 per family, then you would be totally funded. And the chances of that happening are very slim. But yes, once you got to that point, we've had some counties or some groups get halfway through the year and say, okay, this is where we're funded, so we're not going to put anything in reserves for the rest of the year.
Okay.
You've got that control then if you need to use that for other budgeting purposes. So you have that
Right.
flexibility
Yeah,
with
that's kind of where I
this.
was trying to figure that out.
Sure can.
Okay.
Any questions on the numbers? Okay. The next one is the aggregate report on the dental. And the dental basically is when the claims come through, you're just paying for actual claims. You're not paying any fixed cost. Up here at the right, yeah. Up here at the right-hand side is where we set the factors. So we did at $15.99 single, which you can't get a dental. We haven't changed those since we took it over in 2015 because you're just paying actual claims. Right. Down here, you're running $29.37, which if you looked at a fully insured dental, you would be probably $40 up for a single. So the dental plan, just paying actual claims, has worked very well too. The next one is where we paid the claims when the claims come in. This is on the non-PPO. The second page is the PPO. You can see prescription claims are at the top. We received 210 claims and it's paid in descending order. And that is, and then the dental, what we paid and how many claims. So we paid a total of $29,679 in dental. And then behind the next tab is just the providers that we paid. Again, just a detail on what we paid and who we paid. And I know the parade's at 10, so.
Dental prophylaxis.
A cleaning,
Okay, my dad's a dentist.
yep.
I read that, I'm like,
Oh, yeah. Yep, just your annual cleaning. So behind tab 4 is the prescription coverage and how it's performed. And I always go to the second page of that. And the pie graph down here showing your generic utilization at 95%, which is excellent. So people are utilizing generics when we can. And that comes from being able to design your plan to where you have a $10 copay for the generics. The next, we just have a copy of the plan. We went through those benefits, the $1,000 deductible, 80/20 to 1,500, and what your copays are. And the next one is the dental, which again, having a self-funded dental plan, you're not paying those fixed costs to a fully insured plan. You have a calendar year maximum of $2,000 per individual covered under the plan. It covers 100% on the preventive, 80% on the basic and the major, and you have a $50 deductible on the basic and the major times 2 per family. Vision Care Direct, there's no change. That's on a voluntary basis, and there's no change with Vision Care Direct. And the advanced life insurance, there's no change there. And you have $20,000 on each employee. Now, the next one, do you have, I know, do you do Eagle Med, the Air Med Care
Massa.
membership? Yeah, and do you do Massa?
Massive.
Okay, is that employer paid? All right, that's what we have here. We have entered into an agreement with Massa for a $3 per employee per month premium and a family of $650.
they're gonna save us money?
I don't know, I'd have to check into what
I-
we're paying now.
Okay, and I know that there's some out here in those memberships, I think were like $14 per member per month, but we did enter into an agreement for a $3 single and $650 per family, and we do that on our billing, so you wouldn't have a separate billing. We could do that on our billing.
That's pretty cool.
And so you're familiar with Massa, so we won't go through that. And then do you do a flexible spending account, an FSA?
Yeah,
You do, or
well, what's that called?
pre-tax benefits?
Yeah, for healthcare, or for health
Yeah,
expenses.
it's through,
Is it task?
Through Bob.
yeah,
Yeah.
what is that?
Okay, we have had such a request for it through our groups that we do now have a Freedom Flex. It's based on this, so it'd be $4.50 per member participant, with a monthly minimum of $50. So it's just an added benefit that we've just, like I said, had so many requests for it, and it kind of just runs right into, our system with the unreimbursed medical independent care. I don't know if you do dependent care too, or just yeah. So, and we've actually partnered with New Synergy. So we have a mobile app, a debit card, and all of that associated with the flexible spending.
So they wouldn't have, so how does that work for the employee? Like the employee has
The debit card,
okay, so how would that work? It's preloaded?
it is with the money that's in there, so it is preloaded. And it's through New Synergy, so they could get online and check their benefits, and then we do the billing with you. Now, I know on some flexible spending accounts, the employer pre-funds that for anything that comes in that might be taken out before it's actually payroll deducted.
Okay.
And then you have the carryover. So we have we do all the documents, everything on that.
So how would the employee know which things that they could use their debit card?
It's monitored on New Synergy side
Okay.
and monitored there.
So that if they had a wrong charge, something that wasn't, then they would
would
pay
cover
that.
it.
Right.
Okay, gotcha.
Yep.
I don't know what we can do.
Aflac, we have,
Okay.
it's through Bob Harper with Aflac.
Out of Colby.
Employee sets what amount they want taken out of the paycheck, and then they just bring in receipts to pay up to what they.
What they,
have that year.
okay. And you pay those out here then internally? Okay, okay. Well, we do offer this if interested with the debit card, or if you have more questions on it, we can send you whatever information.
And Massa is $14 a month per employee.
Okay. And this would be
Huge savings.
$3 per employee per month.
$11, right?
And
Does that include
$6.50.
family, whole family?
It does. Now, your AirMed Care covers everybody in your household, whether you're taking care of grandchildren, aging parents, anybody in your household. MASSA just covers your, it follows the guidelines of your medical. They have to be an eligible dependent to age 26, so yes.
So your kids at college would be okay?
Yes,
Okay.
As long as on your medical plan.
Yes.
yes. Now, we've had some municipalities, counties, and cities come in and say, we just want it on the people covered under the medical, but there might be some full-time employee that has waived the coverage because they're covered under a spouse, that they're offering it to everybody as a county paid benefit, so. All right, that was a lot of information.
$5,676 today.
So you have to have health insurance through you to get the Massa?
No, we have some that it's however you want to do it. I mean, if you want to offer it to all employees,
Well,
then,
I don't get insurance through the county.
so we could offer it to
So
all,
right now, they're paying for Massa for me.
and we could continue that. Sure could.
Because I fly pretty frequent.
Okay, yeah, unfortunately, huh?
Yeah, I'm a
Yeah.
frequent flyer.
There you go. Yeah, gosh darn it. But yes, we could cover all employees of the county, whether on the medical or not.
A good savings.
Okay, questions on, and then at the very back, I just put in a copy of the Blue Cross information. Okay, in the back of your book. And we just took that information and put it up front. And it is detailed, so this is confidential information to you, because it does have, because everything is age rated, it has the employee's name and what their costs are. And we just put it into a composite rate up front. So we've just taken this information and broke it down in our book. So, questions?
I don't, thank you.
Okay. What did I not present today that you would like to see on the renewal? Do you have questions?
I don't, you got me confused enough.
Yeah, basically,
On the renewal, if we use reserves and to cover that, to keep it the same, are we just setting ourselves back for next year, have to pay more?
not necessarily. It depends on where your renewal comes in and how your claims are this year. So if you kept the rates the same and you're funded there, then we would take a look at it quarterly to see where you were. But the whole idea, when we started this at the beginning, is to build those reserves up so that you could be funded. And just with a small 5% overall increase, you're almost 100% funded. So, and again, it just depends on your claims.
But if we have a bad employee or we've got a lot of problems, we're gonna hit problems if we drain any out of that reserve, right?
No.
Okay.
Because your maximum liability for the county is that 7,100. If you have a cancer, a heart, or anything, once between the employee's 2,500 out of pocket and the county's 7,100, once it reaches that threshold, it's 100% of covered in-network expenses. So that's your
Liability.
protection.
Okay, all right.
So that's why on the one sheet with the maximum liability, that 308,000, that is the maximum. If everybody on the plan met that $7,100 deductible times 2 per family. And you've got 180,000. And with the same premium, you're expected, on this count, expected to put in another 108,000. So,
Didn't want us shooting ourselves in the foot.
Right,
All
and-
of a sudden have a high jump that we had to do.
and with the 12% increase and that being medical trend, either keeping it the same or do a small 5% increase overall. But remember, you're still building reserves. You're putting in 108. So even if you spent that, you're still going to end the year with what you have in reserves. So it will, if you have a bad year and you have a lot of claims, it will start taking it away, but you're still funding. So it isn't like that you've gone with a different plan and now you're just using reserves to pay claims where you're not building it at all.
And that reserve account's making 5% interest now too.
Ah, there you go.
So we're putting in the 108, but then the interest on top of that
Yeah.
is
5,000.
is helping.
Well, a little more.
Which would take care of your, basically, part of your renewal.
Yeah.
And I don't foresee that percentage rate going down. So I think we'll have that for.
Well, unfortunately.
So, I mean, here would be the paperwork we would need signed if you want to go forward with the Blue Cross renewal and the Freedom Claim. So I can leave it with you, or, do you want to see something else on the renewal, or?
I don't.
I don't think that we need anything else.
Okay, all right, so do you think that the renewal is the route you want to go?
We have that other insurance company coming next meeting. Do you wanna table until then, or?
We better table.
I don't think they're.
I don't think we're gonna go with it
Even
and worry about it, but we better.
At least.
Oh,
look at it.
absolutely,
We
absolutely.
better let them come visit with us.
Absolutely. If they come in and you have questions, I would be happy to take a look. I mean, we're based on, if it's a better plan, and I think it is, I'll tell you so. But it would definitely want to make sure that we're comparing apples to apples, but definitely want to make sure that you've got a plan, that you're continuing to build those reserves and it's not going into somebody else's pocket. So, okay,
Okay.
all right. Thank you all very much. Oh, it's time for the goblins, huh? All right, like I said, if you have any questions after presented, just let me know.
I've got your phone number, I got your phone number. Do I have your Denver phone number?
I think so.
Okay.
You want me to give it to you again, or?
If you got a card, show me your card, I'll put it in my bag.
Totally spaced it. I didn't bring cards this trip.
It's okay.
Do you need mine?
Yeah, I'll send it to, it's just 3.
Yeah, here, I can write mine on the back of that. Just for-
Okay.
I should have been more prepared.
If I have questions, that way just reach out, send me a text and say it's you, and I'll plug you in. Okay. So otherwise, I won't look at it.
All right.
Okay.
Well, thank you very much for your time. Thank you so much. All right.
Thanks, Bud.
Thank you. Thanks.
Nice meeting you,
You
sir.
bet, have a good one. What's up? No, I know, moral support, huh, ain't that right?
Thanks, guys.
Can't mess
Hey, good
anything up,
seeing ya.
keep your mouth shut.
Hope to see you guys in a couple of months.
Hey, are you going to say it?
Something I did.
We'll take a brief recess.
Right.
Okay. Cody, we'll be right back.
Oh,
I'm done.
Bank.
I don't need you guys. I mean, not today.